This is Clara. She's never been harnessed. She's never had harness. And I've got her tied up. She's not very well trained at anything. She's just pretty much been a wild puppy. And I'm going to harness her up here. I don't have any way to make it completely good, but we'll see what we can see here. Here's Clara's harness. Here's your hames. Bottom hame strap, top hame strap. These are her traces. They'll fasten to the hames right here on these bolts, like that. And that's what will enable her to pull the load. These are the longitudinal straps that go from her front to her back. They'll fasten to the hames here on this ring. This is a belly band. It'll wrap around her. It still needs to have two straps sewn on here for these back straps to go through to hold everything together. That's her breeching. It'll go at her behind. This is the back end of the traces, but the chain part's not on there. That's in the house. This here's the spider. It goes like this. This will hook to these two, and these two will hook to these straps here, which hold up the breeching. I'm not sure how many pieces I've got and how many I'm missing, so I'm going to go kind of put it together on her. I'll let you see some of that process in action. Well, heck, I didn't brush it, baby. Hang on, let's get your shoulders clean. Let's get your shoulders back. Clara's elbow high on me. She has to do all the carrying bags because it's easier to put a bag on her back than on a taller donkey's back. Okay, there's your collar. These are her hames. Hames hang over the collar and they provide the pull point for the load. Go on there like that. And then they buckle here at the bottom, this bottom strap. Here, Fun Bubble. Fun Bubble! guys. No, come up. Stand up. Here. Clara, stand. Okay, that ain't Clara. Stand up. I'll tell you what, let's make this easier. Yes, Jeff's fault. I tied you wrong, didn't I? Come back here. Here. Right here. Right here. Right here. There. That'll look better. Now this hame strap doesn't have enough holes in it. It won't buckle tighten up. So I'm going to have to poke some holes in it. I use a hot iron. I've got a propane powered one or a butane powered one that I can use up here because there's no electricity in the barn. Okay, I got the holes in the hame strap here. I'm going to put the hames on in a minute. These have a slant and they hang on her so that those slant towards the back of her. No. There. Stand. Wait. Oh, oh, oh. Let's go. I'm kind of pushing her around and it looks a little rough, and in a way it is a little rough, but she's a lot stronger than I am. And she's gotten away all her life with faunching around and not standing where she's put. And it's about time we have to stop that. buckles are on this because it's this plastic crap. If this harness was made out of leather or natural fiber, I could use Conways here, which are simpler and also less expensive. But since this plastic has its own kind of obnoxious springiness, Conways won't work on it. So I make it this more complex way to use the buckle. Now, see, I need a tab that sews right across here for this strap to go through. Lays here like this and holds that strap just in place to keep it from dropping down. Stop this video for a minute, pause this video, and go get a pen where I can mark that. I'll give her some pets on her noggin when I got here. I'll mark one side, I'll fold it and make both sides balance. Okay. What are we doing here? We got enough donkey butt to tell the story. This piece is a britch and it has to wrap around her here like this, and it's the brakes, and it hangs to here and here. It's got a whole bunch of these on it. They're just a little sewn loop, and they keep all these various straps from falling off. Ah, crap, I got that wrong way. Okay, it goes this way. There we go. Yeah. They keep these from falling off when they're unbuckled. Uh-oh, I'm sure I knew I was. measure all these parts, and then I make them, and then when I'm done, not very many of them actually wind up the right length because it's harder than it appears to measure a wiggling donkey. You're a good girl, Clara. You're standing good, honey. Yes, you are. She's being so good, I think I'm going to go inside and get her some goodies and give them to her while she does this. This will seem unfair to the rest of the gang, and so I'll have to get them some to give them a sense that they're not being cheated. So I'll leave those there. Be back in a minute. Okay, so. Yo, that's baby. I know you can get any either. Okay, here's the britchin'. Strap with 4 rings on it. Got these straps the wrong way. The buckles ought to come up from below. Turn these around. You see that one there doesn't have enough holes in it. Which probably means this other one doesn't either. I'm short pieces I forgot about. There's got to be straps that go from these corner rings down under her belly, and they either snap to here or another ring goes up here and snaps to here. So it's not all there yet. I'm short pieces, but we're beginning to see something of the look of a harness Jenny. And when she's done, when we're all done here, she'll wear red, and Missy will wear green. Clara will be on the left-hand side of the team because she's the smallest. And when you run them on a public road, the roads are always crowned. So the right-hand donkey is downhill from the left-hand donkey. So if you got the short one on your left, then they look and move more as if they were the same size. So she's coming up on being fully harnessed. These traces have a loop here. Hang on, baby, you're okay. They're folded over double so that it will be double thickness. Let me get it out where I can see it. Double thickness here where the friction is. And then that bolt there and that tube will go through that. You want another one? Yeah. I picked up a wrench. There it is. Yes, I see you want to know your pickle, but I'm not convinced you're that good. Just a little. See, this comes with a steel pipe. It goes through there, goes in here. That, and that's what enables her to pull the load that transfers the pressure from her shoulders to the pull point. Then there's a piece like this that goes at the back. This goes through the trace here. And then this chain is what hooks to the various implements, carts, and tool things. And you got this much adjustment. I won't be using this one because this one is fixed. And I've got some that have a pivot point here so the chains can be turned and they won't tangle up. So these are old ones that I bought when I couldn't find the kind I like better, and so they're just here now, but I've got better ones that I use, and those are in the house, so I'm just not going to go get that because I don't need to put it on right now. But that's how the trace will finish. There's old phrases you hear that are used, like she's kicked over the traces. That means that instead of the traces being out here where they'll work, the animal's got them between their legs and they can tangle them up and keep them pulling. So that's where that old phrase comes from. She's kicked over the traces. It's from those. There's another one. She's got the bit between her teeth. And that also has to do with animals. You know, when the bit's got to be in their mouth in a place where they can't control it, so you can. And if they get it between their teeth and hang on to it, then you can't drive. So these old phrases have meaning. Many, many, many old phrases that are still floating around, you know, come from our animal-powered agricultural past, given that even in America, the newest country in the world, we're only 250 years old, and we still basically only got about 80 years of being tractor powered, and the rest of our 250 was all predominantly animal powered in agriculture, and so you know, we're going to find, I believe, that from the start to the finish, tractors and automobiles were a short-lived whim. I can't prove that, of course. It's just my belief. Isn't it, hon? You are too much sweetheart. Babies need cuddles. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Alrighty. Now we got a complete harness except for the straps that hook to here and go down to here. Now that will be for a single animal. I'm going to show you something I've never shown you even on Missy's harness. Come back, honey. I know you don't like it any better than your mom does. Back up. You see this ring right here on the hame. There's one on each side. And there's a strap that goes to those from here down about this low and back up to here. And then another strap fastens to it, and it goes back over this, snaps to these two missing ones. And when they're pulling an implement with a tongue, when they're working as a team, that tongue out here pulls this strap forward, which pulls these to stop the cart or wagon or implement. So that's almost a harnessed up little girl. I'll do you some more on it later, but that's pretty near a harnessed up little girl. That's all I'm going to do for today with it. Well, I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and put these proper trace chains on here, just because. These are better because they've got a pivot right there. And that means if I get the chain hooked up, you know, a little bit crooked, it can untangle itself. They got a screw through here, and that's how they fasten to the traces. I got all my harness parts I get some of my harness parts from a company named Chimicum Tack, who are good people. Dealing with them has always been a pleasure. But they don't have as good a selection as my local Amish man does, so I get most of them from him. If you live within 100 or 150 miles of an Amish community, every Amish community in the country has a harness shop. It's like being in a English non-Amish community that didn't have a drugstore. There just aren't any. You know, they all got it. So you go up to your local Amish harness shop. Uh-oh, I got that on backwards. Doggone it. See, I got this tab in, and it could get up against her skin here and cause her discomfort. I did it on both of them. Doggone it. Sometimes I don't pay attention. I'll get to thinking about this video and what I'm trying to tell the customer and don't think about what I'm trying to tell the donkey. Hang on, baby. You just stand right there. You're fine. They just have to learn to settle down. If you look, you'll see that. Oh, phooey. Work animals in the energy efficient world where work animals are a norm just have good manners, you know, because work animals, these animals signed up with humanity somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. Nobody knows exactly for sure. The donkey, of course, signed up with us in Africa. That's where she was originally evolved. Was in the deserts of Africa in a couple of places. Some come from Somalia, some come from South Africa. And nobody really knows whatever caused these animals to decide that they'd let people catch them and feed them and have them carry stuff for them. But they did, and they did it a long time ago. And they do, you know, genetic. They inspect the DNA of the ancient skeletons and remains and of current animals and of the wild. The donkey is the only one of our work stock as humans whose wild ancestors still remain, although at the rate that we're destroying them, they're highly endangered. But the genes, they have evolved as work stock. That is to say that breeding, being raised by humans and breeding up as humans, the domesticated ones are genetically different from their wild ancestors. And honey, you're all right. You just wait there. Nobody knows, you know, if over the course of 10,000 years, or even 6 or 8 or 5 or 3 or even 2. But no, it's way more than 2. I mean, we've been 2,000 years since that old book was written, and people, Balaam's ass was talking to him a long time before the latest chapters of that book were written. And but however you count it, they decided to work with us a long time ago, and it is my opinion that as a result, we actually have an obligation to them to continue to rely on their help and to reward them for helping us, because they've made our lives a lot easier for a long time. I just can't tell you how much easier it is to have an ass to help you than to have to do all this crap by yourself. And I'll tell you something else that nobody knows and nobody says, which is that for much of the work that we still do, it's literally easier to do it with an ass to help you than it is with a tractor. And that doesn't mean they're perfect, and it doesn't mean they'll never hurt you, and it doesn't mean they'll never argue with you. People die. Ultimately, people die of being alive, you know? Where'd I hide my screwdriver? People die of doing things, and there's no way of knowing. But by and large, if you treat these animals gently and with respect, they're not going to hurt you. They always could. You know, you watched me stand behind her 50 times today. There's no time of the day she couldn't have whacked that and kicked me. I bend down and pick stuff up, she could kick me in the face and kill me. She has chosen not to. She knows how to kick. She knows exactly where her feet are. She kicks her roommates over there most days, more days than not. She's chosen to be this way. And even when you see her be a little ornery, you have to understand that she's just choosing to tease me and choosing to express selfhood. These creatures have selfhood to the same extent that we do. She's as much a self as I am a self. She has as much identity. She has as much self-knowledge. She knows that she's here. She knows her life. And, did I get that one right? Yes. So what she's doing, you know, what you've watched her do is dancing around and stuff. That's expressing selfhood. That's expressing her own personal identity. And she has every right to. We'll work this out. It's not like, we're about to make some donkey byproduct. I believe I'll step out of the way. This is a hassle. This tube's pinched down on this screw and doesn't want to come out. That's not going to work right. She's really, really good at untying things. If you tie any kind of a knot that they can that has a string you can pull to untie it like you do with your shoelaces. If you tie any kind of a knot like that on Clara, there's absolutely no question she is going to untie it. She will find that loose end and untie it. But see, I haven't left her one of those, and now she's shaking and hoping she can get one, but it's not there. No, honey, you're all right. You just be a lady. You're fine. I understand. I understand. No, no, no. No. These my traces are actually too wide for these trace chains. The Amish guy up at the harness shop, what he does, he's got two essential customer bases, and he knows about both of them, and he cares for both of them. One of them is his community, and that's big animals, work stock. Um, uh, uh, in my local Amish community, the draft horses are almost all Belgians, and the buggy horses are all standard bred. And he's got all that stuff for his community. But in the first place, he's a nice guy, and in the second place, he's trying to make a living here. And so he knows about the English, i.e. non-Amish communities, fondness for like show animals. And so he sells pony harness because there's a lot of people who show ponies in harness, wagons, carts, ponies on carts. And so that's what most of the stuff I use for donkeys was actually made for show pony harness. And because donkeys are about the same size as ponies, you know. Okay. So I can get the stuff I need. Now before this is over, there has to be a hook right here, one out each side, and when they're not working, these hook right there. Because otherwise, they just drag around and be a hassle. So that's the part that I haven't made yet. It has to be a hook right here. And then there may wind up being what's called a crupper, which comes off of here. Scoot over, baby. Follows this line down, wraps around her tail. But that's not critical, so I may not have that. Okay, now I got these on wrong. These want to come the other way, so the buckle faces up, so that when the strap is... It's hard to see. I know the light's crummy in here. I don't know any way to fix that, so all I can do really is just apologize. So I put all these on wrong. Because you want the tag end to hang down. So it doesn't loop back. Look ready. Gravity will hold the buckle down. Okay. Now, Okay, now there's how you want that strap. There's how you want that strap to hang right there. So that the tag end is down. I'll cut some of this off, that's too long. You got these two pieces that hold it together. The buckle stays in place. See, this one here will do this, and so I got to reverse that. But that's pretty much it. That's the general look. Make a few more parts and we'll be done. Thanks for coming along.